Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another ephemera video for the Winter Garden Journal. This may be the last ephemera video because this has gone on quite a while just due to my computer issues and such things. I haven't had the time to really get into the signatures yet, so that will be the next step. I'm thinking about doing a video I'm doing a video of how I select all of my signature pages. So I'm kind of mulling that around. But today we're going to create a glassine bag with a page from the digital printed on tissue paper. And we've got a nice big tag here in the back. And then the other one we're going to do is this. I took a piece of paper from the kit and I used my envelope punch board to make an envelope, and then we're going to use that as a tuck, and then we're going to embellish it. We've got a journaling spot and a large tag, and so that's what we're going to do today. I am going to move this a little bit more. I'm still getting used to the setup, so there we go. That's better. Hoping that I don't go that way with my processing here or my creating. So let's go ahead and start with this one. So, well, let's start with this one. This is easier. So, as usual, I have already pre-cut and pre-measured everything, as well as all of my little bits. So, we've got a little bit of stuff there, and then we've got a cluster that's going to go somewhere else on the front of this. So, I'm just going to try to separate all of that, like so. So we know those go on the glassine bag. We'll set that one aside as well because it is just the tag for the back of this, which we'll get the Crop-A-Dile out and do that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and try to ink this tissue paper. It is tricky. I'm going to see if I can find a piece of paper to put behind that to make that a little bit easier. I will speed through that process for you. I'll do all the inking on these bits and then I'll come back with you. Okay, so we are pretty much inked up as far as I can tell for this first piece. So I'm going to bring this over. I've never attached tissue paper with a glue stick, but I think that's going to be our best bet this time. I'm not going to be doing any sewing on this just because I don't want to narrow my pocket. So I'm just going to go with this the way it is. So I'm just using my Scotch Create glue stick. See how well this works. I'm not sure. Not a big fan of glue sticks. I've heard people rave about this one though, but I try to avoid them altogether. So, but we're going to give it a try. Okay. So we're just going to place my, as you know, I did ink around all those edges and the glassine bag as well, just to give it some of a grungy kind of vintage feel. So I'm just going to gently press that down. Tissue paper is pretty fragile, so you do want to be mindful of that. So I'm just going to do that. I might come back and sew on this later. I'm not sure. So that is our glassine bag. Super simple. This is the tag that's going to go in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Crop-A-Dile here. It's just over here. And I apologize, I did not have that ready. And I'm going to grab an eyelet as well. Let's see what color of eyelet we would like for this. I like to pick a color that matches kind of what's going on in the piece of paper. So I think I'm just going to go with silver in this case. So I'm just going to set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and punch our hole, and as I always say, this is not a tutorial on how to use the Crop-A-Dile. It's a challenge for me, so I'm just creating with you. So this is not actually a tutorial in my opinion. It's just a craft with me. So this is why I have a hard time with it, because I have a hard time lining up seeing that space where it needs to be punched and then punching it accurately. That looks pretty good. Awesome. Look at that. Pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead and push this forward. I always forget which one is the little. I think this is the regular one. So we're going to go ahead and put our eyelet in here. I'm going to go ahead and set that. Awesome. I love the crocodile. So there's our little hole, and then I've got a piece of, I bought this sari silk. It's like a yarn apparently, but I thought it would be really pretty on here. It's a little bit thick. I don't know if it's going to go through here doubled up, but let's try it. Let's see. It's pretty thick. I'm still really leaning forward towards my desk, so I'm going to probably have to adjust the camera again here. Let me do that really quick. I'm really leaning forward. That seems to be a little bit better. So then I'm going to go ahead and feed the ends back through here. It's really thick kind of messy yarn, which I love. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. Whoops. Got magnetic things sticking to my scissors, and then I'm just going to trim that, and then these will be great for scraps. So there we go. So that's our tag. It's going to go in the inside. So let's go ahead and do our embellishing on here. So what I found was I pulled this lace, and I just thought it looked really pretty kind of under the bird, kind of like a shelf. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that, and I forgot to get my Fabri-Tac out and get it prepared here. I like to, when I start a project, I like to turn it over in my little plastic bottle here to get it to go down to the tip, so it's easier to do. I'm going to get my art glitter glue as well. So let's go ahead and glue on this lace on the bottom of the bird here. Hopefully you guys can see okay. Again, still getting used to this whole desk setup. I love it, but it's very different than what I'm used to. So just putting that there. I need a paper towel here. And there we go. I've worked through most of the kinks, I think, with the new computer. I've started to actually do some more administrative stuff, like I realized that I did lose all of my digital files, so I'm going to have to go back to Etsy and download all of them. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'll just do that slowly over time. Trying not to stress about it, trying to be serene, as my word for the year suggests. So I'm working on that. And this one says, "Isn't she lovely?" And I just thought this bird was so beautiful. So we're just going to put that word up there and then just have it sit under the bird. And then it was still a little bit too plain for my liking, so I am going to go ahead and do another cluster here at the top. Got all my stuff all going wonky. So another piece of that same lace. And I just decided I was going to kind of put it up in this corner. And I'm being gentle on that tissue paper because I don't want to tear a hole in it if I can help it. And I'm just going to kind of turn it like so. Probably need a little bit. Oh my goodness, I'm getting everything all turned around. I'm going to put a little bit more here. And go ahead and give that a press. So it'll adhere really well. And then I've got this piece of, this is that 3M masking paper that I often use. And I realized in my, when I did the video on how to print on tissue paper, vellum, and rice paper, I forgot to show you how I print on this. It's basically the same thing. I just cut the 3M masking paper down to size, and then I just make sure I have papers behind it when I feed it into the printer so that it doesn't get jammed up. But I love printing on it. I print digitals on it, actually. It's quite pretty. I think I want to go this way with this. I can't quite remember what I was doing here. Yeah, that was it. I did this all last night, getting prepared for today's video. Getting caught up now. Feels really good. Our we have a breakout, a COVID breakout at school, so things are getting a little bit weird in my neck of the woods. So I am experiencing some mild symptoms, but I'm hoping that it's just my body fighting it. That's my hope anyway. So I'm just grabbing some other little bits of lace here from my basket. Trying to see if I can find one that I would like to put. I want another piece, another layer here. Often I will do that. I will put multiple layers of the same lace just to kind of give it some interest. So anyway, our special education classroom is actually shut down for next week, and we'll be doing virtual instruction, which is challenging with our kiddos, but we've done it before, so hopefully it will go well. And we will be back and open soon, praying that the whole school doesn't also shut down. That would be a bummer. So I also picked this, I've got this piece of this, these leaves, and I've got it in multiple colors, and I just think it's so beautiful. So I thought it would be pretty on here, just to kind of bring out some of the light. I wish I hadn't cut that one off. That's a bummer. That's okay. We're gonna go with it. So anyway, yeah, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Got a lot on my mind today, but that's okay. I wanted to get some content ready here. So I'm just gonna put that right there. And doesn't matter to me if it's straight or not. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I just like to cut circles out of the kit just to use the scraps and such. So I've just got this little circle that's got an image from the kit on it. And I'm just gonna kind of put that there just so that that leaf and stuff is just peeking out. I love that. And then I've got a 2-piece quote because it was too long to go in this space. And it says, oops, forgot one edge here. It says, complete in this moment. And I just thought it really worked well with that sentiment on the bottom too. So I'm just using our glitter glue, maybe. Appears to be a little bit plugged up. Oh my goodness. Come on, art glitter glue. My little dangle. Maybe I can get her unplugged. There we go. So yeah, unfortunately, 3 of my grandchildren tested positive for COVID. And so they are not feeling terribly bad, but they are home and healing up. Thankfully, we didn't really have exposure to them in the last week, so everybody else is doing okay. There we go. So that is our first project. Look at that. So simple, guys. Just a little bit of lace, a little bit of paper, some layering, and you've got this beautiful, beautiful pocket. And the cool thing about Glassine bags, before I started really using them, I really didn't know if like glue would leak through here, but it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my tag in there, and we're done with project number 1. Look at that. How cute is that? I love it. Okay, so that's that one. So let's move on to the second project here. And so again, we're doing a little envelope bit here. So I'm gonna just pause and do the inking, and then I will be back with you very shortly. So I'm just gonna set these aside because I have to remember that this is on the envelope flap. And this is for the inside of the envelope. And I get turned around easy. And then this is for the top of the journal card or tag, whatever you want to call it. Set that over there. So I'm just going to ink this stuff up, and I will be right back. So with this, I don't need to ink any of these bits because they're going to be covered over. And then I don't need to ink the back because it's going to be glued down on 3 sides. So, and let me just show you or give you my thoughts about this. So I basically cut the envelope with the envelope punch board, the width that I wanted it to be for my journal. So it's 5.5 inches wide, and it's going to be a tuck spot here, and then it's going to be a tuck spot here, which is why I have this pocket to put on. I just need to ink that edge because that is going to show. And I probably need to ink this as well because it will show. So Not a very fancy thing, but again, I'm still easing in and not really using a lot of brain power right now. So let me just set those cards aside. I'm going to go ahead and glue this shut really quick. I just wanted to show it to you before I did that. So, but you can make them any size that you want if you have the envelope punch board. I don't know what to tell you if you don't. It's not my area of expertise by any means. So just doing that, and I'm going to go ahead and put my pocket on. It's going to create a little bit of bulk, and I suppose in the future I didn't really need to make it a whole envelope. I could have made it a faux envelope by just, you know, having a piece of paper cut the length that I wanted it to be, the length I wanted it to be, so that it could fold up and then have a flap, which would have made this less bulky. But again, just keeping it simple and getting into the swing. I'm going to use my small bottle of art glitter glue just because I don't want to make this pocket any smaller than it needs to be. Oh my goodness, my pin is stuck. Come on, there we go. So we're just going to put glue on. I need to set this down. I'm not steady enough today to do that. Hopefully it will come out. Are we coming out? There we go. Come on, baby. You can do it. There we go. No, not steady laying down either here, apparently. There we go. Oh, and so when I talk about COVID and I talk about my symptoms, just know that I'm filming ahead. So any of my friends that are watching that work with me or in my family, this is not real time. So by the time this posts, I will be well past that. But you know me, I just like to chat a bit. So there we go. So there's our little pocket. And then what we have in the pocket is a little piece of paper. And I've showed you this paper before. It's from a vintage school tablet. So I'm not going to be all, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to make this special. I'm just going to kind of ink the edges a little bit just to give it kind of a vintage, more of a vintage feel. It already is yellowed, which is kind of cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink this flap though. And I'm just going to put a little embellishment there with a word and a piece of lace just to kind of make it fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that here. So it says someone loves you. So I thought that was kind of a fun note for when you go to open up your journaling bits, and you got a nice little message there. So I'm just going to put this right here with my Fabri-Tac. Nothing special. It doesn't bulk it up too much, you know. I don't mind it. I always account for it when I make my signatures and my spine. I allow for 1 inch per signature. So I haven't decided how big this journal is going to be, if it's going to be a 2 or 3 signature, probably a 3 signature, but so, and then this is going to go in here, but I'm not going to put it in now because that's still wet. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and do our little, oh, that's a little tight. That's really tight. I should have trimmed that off a little bit. Oh well. Let me get my bone folder here real quick, guys, and see if I can crease that down a little bit better. Bone folder does wonders, so if you're ever having trouble, definitely try this. That's much better. I will probably put some Velcro on here, so let me grab that as well while I'm poking around here in the studio. If I can find both sides of it. So we've got the puffy side, and let me find the flat side. Hopefully. Uh-oh, no flat side. I may have to come back and do the Velcro off camera. I don't want to hold you guys up. Oh, maybe it is here. Nope, it is not. It's probably just under something in that drawer, so I will just add some Velcro later. So we're going to embellish this little flap. So I've got my little bits of ephemera to put on. It looks like I don't have them in any particular order, so I'm going to go ahead and just dump them out here. And then just start inking, and I will speed through that or delete it out and be back with you. Okay, so that was really quick. Nice quick video today. I like that. I'm aiming for that more and more, just so you know. So we're going to kind of build a cluster here. I think this is way too big for that space, so let me trim it down. We can kind of have it sticking out in layers. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my book page, I believe, and then we'll go from there. I'm just gonna, again, I'm just intuitively doing this, not thinking about it too much, just kind of following what looks good. Just gonna kind of go off to the side a little bit because this is going to be kind of a big cluster here. I think I need another piece of paper. This copy dyed paper is not quite big enough, I don't think. So let me grab one more. Actually, I think I'll use this. This is just a scrap that was right on the top of my little drawer with digital scraps. I mean, coffee dyed scraps. This is actually one that I did some inking on, which I did have a request to do a video on how I do coffee dyed paper with ink and add ink, so I will be thinking about that as well. I think I'm going to just put that right there. It's pretty bold, but I think it goes with this okay. So we're going to go with it. It's going to go like that, and then we've got our sheet paper here as well, which I love. I'm wondering if I want to put this little fella here first. Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little bit big. Let's just trim it down just a little bit. It's a little bit off-centered. Let's see if we can move it over at all. Not really. That's okay, because I don't really want to cover up my guy. So what to do, what to do. Maybe we'll tear this down a little bit. That's okay. We just go with it. I'm going to put a little piece of lace here before I start adding more papers, because I want that layered. Like so. Actually, yeah, I think I want another piece over here too, so let me, sticking to my fingers. I'm going to put another piece over here. Like so. And then we're going to put our sheet paper. I've talked about the sheet paper before, so you've probably already heard what it's about. Talk about it pretty often in my videos. I'm going to just let that face peek through a little bit because I like it. Look at that. It's so cute. Got this little face peeking through right here. Not very much, but that's okay. Let's scooch it over a little bit. We can still move it. So now I'm going to go ahead and put, well, we're probably going to be covering that guy up. I don't think I can help it because this is just all too big here. So again, I didn't really plan out this cluster very well. I think I'm going to have it go the opposite direction. Well, yeah, we're going to lose our guy, but that's okay. We're going to lose him. Sorry, guy. I tried. I did. Just going to put that there. I kind of want that circle in the middle. So there, we've got that. And then I've got another piece of this. I thought we could put this underneath our sentiment. So I'm going to get the sentiment up here so that I can kind of cut it to size here. Looks like right on that. Oops. Paper clip stuck. So I think we're going to put that right there along the bottom, or not quite. I think I'm going to go right here with it. Just a little bit of frou-frou. You know how I like that. And then we're just going to decorate that other journal card, and then we'll be done. Short and sweet today. I hope this is not all crooked. I didn't really look. Looks okay, but that's our little cluster. Love that. It's a little bit heavy over here, but it's okay. It's all good. So again, off camera, I'll put a Velcro dot on there to hold that closed. We can probably stick this inside now. And then, you know, the person who receives the journal can take that out or put something else in there. Totally up to them. So on this journal, we're not doing anything with this journal card. I'm just going to leave it as is, and it's going to tuck behind here in the journal. So this envelope is going to be glued on 3 sides to make up a tuck spot. And then on this one, I've already inked it, as you saw. Oh, I didn't ink the back though. Let me do that real quick. Otherwise I forget to do it later. I think I will do one more video because I wanted on the ephemera, because I wanted to do use the CD envelopes and make a triple flip down. So it sits on the page, it sits on the page like this, and then it will have 2 CD envelopes slip down from it. So that's kind of my thought. We'll see how that goes, but that's my plan. I wasn't going to do it on camera, but I think I will do one more ephemera video. And then as we get near the end of the journal, we'll do one more placing final ephemera in the journal that I've made off camera. And then we will do a flip through and then the drawing. And again, this is the winter journal. The winter garden journal is the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So that is open to folks in the United States and Canada. So I had originally closed my drawings to Canada, but because it's the big giveaway, I decided to go ahead and open it back up for Canadian folks. I love my Canadian friends, so we'll see how that goes. Just gonna, this one's not even, so I'm gonna have to trim it off on both sides, but that's okay. I want that to show on the top too. I mean, I'm sorry, I do have to turn my stuff, and I'm probably not the best for the viewers, but it's okay. There we go. And then I'm just gonna let that dry for a second, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take care of my word. This says, "Follow me to Wonderland." And I just, I pulled it out of my stash, and I'm like, this goes with that bird. Like, follow me to Wonderland. He's like whispering, come, come, it's beautiful over here. I think I need another piece of that lace to just create, again, another layer under the words. So that's just my preference. So let's see how long this needs to be. And then we will be done. So I'm just gonna go like that and just trim off this excess. My paper clips keeps sticking to my scissors. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the top of it off though, because I don't need that extra layer on the top. That will go in the scrap bin though, or use in another project. I'm going to try to get this moderately straight in the center here. Sometimes that goes well and sometimes it doesn't. So we're just putting that there. Just a little bit of pretty layering. And so anyway, so in order to be eligible for the drawing, you do need to be a subscriber, and you need to like the video, give it a thumbs up, and then leave a meaningful comment. And by meaningful, as I've said before, is just any kind of comment that is engaging, anything that promotes relationship and conversation and meaning. So whether that is, you know, something that you really enjoyed about the process, or something that you learned, or even just something personal, like, you know, do you like birds? You know, do you like winter? What's your favorite season? Like, anything you want to share. I just really like the engagement. So I would really love it if you would do that. So here we go. So again, this is how it's going to go. We've got a journal card and a journal card, and then we've got our envelope. So that is it, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.